listening to pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 61, Pausing in New Places. In our everyday life, when we are at home, we quite naturally make these pauses. When we are at home, we know what to expect most of the time. We know where everything goes. We have seen it 1,000 times before. We know every little detail. So, when we pause in a familiar place, such as our home, then our attention is by itself directed inwards. So, when we pause at home, often we become sort of occupied with some form of thought, something that we're thinking about. Sometimes it's something that troubles us, something we are worried about, feel stressed about. And at other times, it's something we want or long for. So, when we are at home, our attention is directed inwards almost every time when we pause. Today's episode is called Pausing in New Places. So today's episode is about the opposite of what I have just described. Pausing can take on quite a different nature depending on what kind of situation we are in. That is one of the reasons why in our framework the different emotional skills are arranged under what kind of situation they are applicable in. So, if you pause right now, how this pause feels to you is very much decided by what kind of situation you are in. So if you are at home, let's say you are at home listening to this, And you are pausing now, together with me. Then it will be quite easy for you to direct your attention inwards. On the other hand, if you are outside or you are in a new place and you are pausing with me right now, then most probably your attention will sort of be directed outwards to something outside of yourself, or that your attention will sort of jump back and forth between outwards and inwards. Pausing takes on a different nature if we are in a new place. When we are in a new place, a place where we have never been before, there is so much to react to. There is so much that we can gather information about. When we are in a new place, it is difficult to pause for a longer period of time. It is more difficult to pause for a longer period of time because when we are in a new place, there are many things that can distract us. When we are in a new place, there are many things that are interesting to us. There are many things that we have not yet made up our mind about. When we pause in a new place, pausing seems to take on this sort of punctuated frequency. So we are in a new place, we pause, and then we react to something. We pause again, react to something else. We pause a third time and react to yet another new thing. And on like that. When we are at home or in some other place where we are familiar, then it is much more natural to pause for a long span of time. There is nothing to distract us, nothing to sort of make us curious, not in the outside. But when we are in a new place, when we are out and about, our pauses will naturally be shorter. Pausing in a new place and pausing in a familiar place, these two different kind of places bear different functions to us. When we pause at home, we spend time with our thoughts. We spend time with perhaps somewhat longer chains of reasoning. We can systematically spend time with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We can scan our body for tensions, body part by body part. We can think about the people we live with, one person at a time. We can make plans, one step at a time. We can paint an internal map of something complicated. All these time-consuming activities, mental activities, are very suitable to do when we pause in a familiar place. Pausing in a new place has much more of a playful character to it. Let's say that we paint a metaphor using sports, perhaps. If you watch an athlete that is the best at what he does, you will see that he does these numerous short pauses all the time, and that the way he pauses in is very playful. So say for example that you watch Lionel Messi as he plays soccer. He does these amazing athletic feats, but in between each feat he does these short, playful pauses all the time. You can see him walking, looking down, and have this sort of playful quality to his demeanor. So, whatever new situation, whatever new place you might find yourself in, these playful short pauses are very constructive. So if you think about, if you pause now and take a moment to think about a situation where you improvised in a competent manner. Chances are high that the memory you just recalled, in that memory, chances are high that you made some form of playful pause just before you did something impressive. This short pause where you just internalized for a moment, weighing your options, and came up with an idea, and then chose to execute that idea. Pausing in new places is a lot about this playfulness. To find constructive ways in new situations is a lot about being playful. And every time you pause and do something creative, you try something, you test something, you experiment. Every time you do that, your playfulness, your improvisation skills, your mastery of emotional skills will become ever greater. In conclusion, pausing in a new place is often characterized by shorter pauses. And these shorter pauses are sort of interrupted or distracted, or that you find something interesting. So, short pauses in a new environment has this punctuated nature. You pause, react to something, you pause again, react to something new. Pausing in new places also demands more of your creativity, and therefore playfulness is very constructive when pausing in a new place. And you can call to mind a craftsman that you like. Could be an athlete, like our example with Lionel Messi, but it could be anyone that you feel is inspiring, someone who you feel is playful in a way that resonates with you. Pausing in new places is a lot about knowing our stuff. Over time, accumulating experiences. Over time, learning different emotional skills and being able to apply them in a quick manner. Pausing in new places is best done in combination with pausing in a familiar place. So the best way to go about it is to pause at home and then go out and make short pauses in a playful way. And then when you come home, you do these longer pauses where you digest what you just learned when you were out. You do a longer pause when you are at home. Let your body digest what you learned. And then you go out again and you pause in a short, playful manner yet again. In that way, your psyche and your craftsmanship will get this very constructive rhythm to it. When you are out, you do these short, playful pauses. And when you are home, you make this longer, more systematic internal pause. So short, 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 and back home, long. Going out, short, 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 coming home, long. And over time, it becomes like the rhythm of your breathing, or the rhythm of the days and nights, or the rhythm of ebb and flow. Over time, this familiar at home pausing and outside in new places pausing will give you a rhythm to life, and it is very pleasant. It's a very nice feeling. That's it for today. Thank you.